Okay, this is a brand new episode of Stephen Follows Instructions, and we're following some instructions on how to geek on how to run Stable Diffusion on your PC to generate AI images. Now, we've got a pretty good PC to work with here. We've got, and I'll just show it to you, the Alienware. Well, it's an Alienware, right? It's, as I recall, the Intel version of it. I need to change this image size here. We'll just get that down to size here. So I've just installed a new version of Open Broadcaster Systems, so there might be some odd stuff, but I don't think it'll be too much different. Never mind. Okay, so Stable Diffusion is something that you can download and install on your own computer if you have enough horsepower, which I believe I do, to generate AI images. So what we're about to do here is to try to see just how easy it is to do. So these are the instructions. There's a little intro to what Stable Diffusion is, what you need to run, GPU, 10 gig storage device, etc., etc. Couple of things. The Mini Conda 3 installer is something I don't have, so we'll have to do that. Git I do have, so we'll be able to bypass that step. So, okay, how to install and run Stable Diffusion on Windows. So, installing Git, I've covered this in so many other videos. But basically go to the website, download the installer, run Git from the command line and also from third-party software. That's the option that I use. Now, installing Mini Conda 3. So, as it says here, Stable Diffusion draws on a few different Python libraries. The libraries are software packages that your computer uses to perform specific functions. Now, Python's such a pain because it has different libraries. They're often incompatible with each other, etc., etc. So, I think I've wiped all the Python off my system in the recent past. We'll find out. So I should be able to upload this or download this and install it without difficulty. So, head on over to the Mini Conda download page. It says we'll open this in a new tab. Okay, and then download the Windows 64-bit. Yes. So let's download that. I also have a new fiber connection, so these downloads now are taking seconds rather than minutes or sometimes hours. Okay, so we're going to install it for all users. So let's do that. So I downloaded it, and there's the download. I'm using Firefox as usual. If you use Chrome, your results will vary, but not by much. So I'll click on this to install, and now we'll click next, and we'll agree to the license terms. All users requires admin privileges, which I have. It's my own machine. Yes, I will allow it to make changes to my device, and I have 53 gigs available. I need to, okay, let's change this here. I would really rather it ran on E rather than C. Now, you probably might not need to do this, but I need to do this because I have a small C drive and a very large E drive. So, let's see. Whoops, this PC. See, my C drive has 53 gigs open right now, which is pretty good for the way it normally runs. But this E has 290 gigs free. So I'm going to run it in E, program files. And, I do have Anaconda 3 in there. So let's hope this doesn't conflict. We'll see. So, and now next. Directory eProgram files. Oh, okay. Let's back up. Just copy this. I can't back up. Okay, so what was it? Let's cancel out and cancel out. All right, so let's try to remember where it was going to install. I agree. All users. Yes. Okay, program data, Miniconda 3. So I'm going to go to program data, Miniconda 3. Okay, so next. Register Miniconda 3 as the system. Here we go. So there's already a version 3 of Python 3.9. If you want Anaconda registered as your system Python, you need to unregister this first. Whatever. Now this is what you call just forging ahead. But this is what I mean about Python, right? I mean, it's just a pain that way. So I'm actually probably going to have 2 separate installs of Python 3 on my system. But they're different packages, so they're going to be different from each other. Yeah, exactly. But this will register it as the 3.9 Python on my system, so hopefully that's what will be executed when I go to execute it. If not, I'll have to come back and repeat this. Okay, some finished bookmarks. All right, so it's going to pop open those bookmarks for me with a spam wall. So whatever. All right, so okay, download the stable Diffusion GitHub repository and latest checkpoint. Okay, so first download the latest checkpoint first. All right, whatever that is. It's nearly 5 gigs, so it may take a while. You need to create an account to download the checkpoint, but they only require. Okay, so let's click on this. Let me close these other windows here. All right, so I'm going to right click on this to open this in a new tab, just to keep ourselves. Okay, so each checkpoint, it took us right here, so I suppose this is it, right? Each checkpoint can be used with both with Hugging Face's diffusers library or the original stable Diffusion GitHub repository. Note that you have to click request them on each respective model repository. I have no idea what click request means. So let's see what they're telling me I should do. So they want me to, I guess, click on whatever's on the bottom right hand side. Okay. So we'll click on that. Okay, you need to share your contact information to access this model. Okay. And then there's some, it's the Creative ML Open Rail license. Okay. So is it going to tell us what we need to click on here? No, but click on SDV14 checkpoint. Oh, that's what we just did click on. So, okay, let's click on Access Repository then. Okay, we have to sign up for an account, I guess. So, Stephen at downs.ca and a super secret password. Make sure you can't see my keyboard on the camera. All right, and I'd like to save that in one password if I can. So. Okay. I will save this. Save. Next. Oh, that wants rather more than just my stuff. Okay. GitHub username is Downs. Twitter username is Downs. Homepage. Downs.ca. Online learning. It's nice and vague. We'll lie about that and we'll create the account. And nothing happens. Try clicking on that again. And nothing happens. Why? This username already exists. Okay, well, I just did that. Okay. All right. Well, that's kind of weird. Oh, username. Oh, I see. Okay. I didn't read the form properly. Username Steven already exists. Let's try with the username Downs. Oh, that's better. Okay. All right. Now we'll access the repository. And then download the weights. Okay, so keep in mind, like the weights, that's just the set of connections between entities in a network. So we're going to do SD, the first one, basically. So we'll download this. So I guess this is click request. Yep, 4.0G. So it'll take a few seconds to download thanks to fiber optic internet. That keeps our video nice and short. Okay. How are we doing? We're getting there. Okay, it hasn't said anything about where to save it. Okay, so we'll just leave it where in the downloads folder. It's finished downloading. Okay, you then need to download Stable Diffusion from GitHub. Click on the green code button. Or alternatively, you can use this direct download link. Okay. All right. Well, we'll follow their instructions. This isn't the normal way I would use GitHub. So, but let's do it the way they want us to. So let's open the link in a new tab. There it is. And so they're saying download zip. Okay. Code download zip. And that's downloaded now. Now we need to prepare a few folders where we'll unpack all of Stable Diffusion's file. Okay. Click the start button and type miniconda 3 into the start menu. Start menu search bar, then click open or hit enter. Okay, so let's click the start button, search. So we'll type as requested. I really hate the fact that I can't move this. Miniconda 3. Okay, and then click open. Alright, so now we've opened up into a prompt. We're going to create a folder named Stable Diffusion in the command line. Alright. Now, you see they've gone to C. I'm going to go to E. And then make dir Stable Diffusion. Okay, and then we'll cd into it. All right. Almost any time you need to paste a block of code into a terminal, you need to hit enter at the end to run the last command. All right, so if everything went well, base, yep, okay. Keep the mini conda window open. We'll need it again in a minute. Open the zip in your favorite file archiving program. I wonder which one they choose. 7-zip. What do you know? That's what I use too. Okay, now I've lost my place here. Okay, so we're going to open up the zip file in my favorite archiving program. So we'll open the file, open with, oh, I have to show it in the folder. So we'll show it in the folder. We have to wait. Windows is quote unquote working on it. All right, here we are. So I'll open this with 7-zip. So if you don't have 7-zip, you'll have to install it. It's a real easy install. So you just search for it on Google, go to the website, download, install, just like any other piece of software. Okay, so now I bet you we're going to extract this, right? Okay. So let's see. So we've opened it. Drag and drop the folder in the zip file into the stable diffusion folder. Okay, so their 7-zip looks a bit different from mine. Is there a different view? Flat view, 2 panels. Here we go. Okay, so on the right hand side, here's my I don't see the directory I created. I created it in the wrong spot. So we'll back up here. Okay, so CDE. Oh, it never went to E. Huh. Well, how annoying is that? It can't find the path? Well, that's going to make life tricky if I've installed the other stuff. Okay. The system cannot find the path specified at all. Okay. But it won't let me change directories? I don't understand. Okay, let's back up. I'm going to go back. CD C:/. And yet on mine, CD C:/. Just like them, right? Okay. How about CD E:/. Okay. But it still won't go to E. But it will go to C. Okay. That's very strange, but again, the weirdness of Python. I assume this is the weirdness of Python. That might just be the weirdness of this program. Okay, so CD stable diffusion. Oops. All right, now I'm in it. So now when we come here, I don't really want to be using my C drive. I'd rather be using my E drive, but I don't really have a choice, do I? See the difference, right? This C drive is tiny. Okay, stable diffusion. Now we're dragging this. I could probably just simply have extracted into the directory, but I might have had difficulty. I wouldn't have even noticed this particular problem. So, all right. So, okay, presumably this is now the extracted version. I'm not sure. Let's see. Come down here. Okay, so this is what we've done, sitting in C. Go back to Miniconda 3, then copy and paste the following commands into the window. Okay, so cd to stable diffusion main. Yeah. Okay, conda, now we have to create, and again, this is a Python thing. You have to create a specific environment to run this piece of software. So it's sort of like creating a sandbox inside my computer to run this particular version of Python 3.9. And you see what it does, right? Is it downloads and installs, or extracts more accurately, a whole bunch of different Python packages, including Pillow, Pip, PySocks, WinCertStore, etc., cryptography. So hopefully it will download and install all the prerequisites I actually need. And again, one of the big issues with Python is that it doesn't always do this, at least in my experience. So it seems to have stalled here at PyTorch, but look at the size, it's 1.23 gig. So hopefully I'm not running into memory issues or disk space issues. Just have a look here. Check properties to make sure we have enough room. Yeah, we're still good. Cancel. Alrighty. Let's hit enter and see if that prompts it to do anything. No. Maybe it's still extracting. It gives me a 9 at the end of that. That's kind of weird. Huh. So I don't see anything remotely resembling this as a problem. Please update Conda by running. Okay. Oh, no, it's continuing. Alright, never mind. Okay, oh, it always does that number at the end, whatever that is. Okay. Alright. No need to panic. It was just being slow. Preparing, verifying, done, executing transaction, whatever that is. Installing Pip Dependencies. That's the Python package system. So Pip dependencies would be modules or libraries that are needed in order to run this stuff that I've just downloaded. So here we go. Still waiting Waiting. And I have a fast computer, so if you're running on a slower computer, you might be waiting even a lot longer than I have. Okay. At least we see it's doing something instead of just stopped like it was before. So we'll come back here. Alright, so don't interrupt this process. Some of the files are larger than a gigabyte. If you do interrupt the process accidentally, you have to delete the environment folder and run the command again. And if that happens, you have to go to C users your account.conda/environment and delete the LDM photo and then run the previous command. So I hope I haven't interrupted that. Okay. Python lets you sort coding projects into environments. Each environment is separate from other environments, so you can load different Python libraries into different environments. Because you have to. They're incompatible often, without having to worry about conflicting versions. Okay, so we created a new environment called LDM, downloaded and installed all the necessary Python libraries for Stable Diffusion to work, activated it, which is what we're trying to do now, then changed the directory to a new folder. Alright, so how are we doing? Still installing dependencies. So, okay, so we're on the last step of the installation. Navigate to and then copy and paste the checkpoint into the folder. So we can do that while we're waiting for the other stuff to happen. So I'll just navigate to that. Oh, it's not created yet. So wonder how much has been. See if the LDM has been created yet. Yeah, the LDM has been created. Okay. So, oh, here we go. Okay, to activate this environment, to deactivate, did they say anything about activating the environment? Okay, so don't interrupt this process. Okay. Right, well, this should now exist. So let's try that. Oops, other window. Okay. LDM Stable Diffusion V1. Nope. So LDM exists, but Stable Diffusion V1 doesn't seem to be in it. Well, that does seem to be a problem. Okay, I haven't done all these commands. All I did is the first one. Okay, conda activate LDM. Alright. So we'll come back here. I hate when it does that. Sometimes it copies properly. Often it doesn't copy properly. You see this frequently in my other videos. Okay, conda activate LDM. Alright. And then make dir model Stable Diffusion V1. And now we'll go to that URL. Okay, navigate to C Stable Diffusion V1. Copy. Okay, now it exists because I just created it. And then copy and paste the checkpoint file into the folder. So let's see now. Here's the folder. Let's Stable Diffusion V1. Here we go. There's the folder, and the downloaded file will be in the other. Oh, it'll be in my downloads file, which is, I call it new folder for no particular reason. There's the file that I downloaded, so we'll copy and paste it into this folder. Again, 3 gigabytes. And almost there. Lovely having solid state drives. Okay. Right. Wait for the file and then click rename. Okay, so we're going to call it model.checkpoint. So, okay, we're going to rename it then. Oops. So, rename, just sort of click on it once. And it's model.checkpoint. All right. If you're running Windows 11, you won't see the rename in the right-click context menu. There's an icon that looks like a miniature text field instead. I love that attention to detail in the instructions, right? So, looks like a mini. There it is, yeah. Okay. Nice attention to detail. Well done, How to Geek. Okay. So here we have model.checkpoint. That's what it should look like. And that's it. We're done. We're ready to actually use Stable Diffusion now. Bonus. Okay. How to use it. The ODM environment we created is essential, and you need to activate it anytime you want to use Stable Diffusion. So enter conda activate LDM into the mini conda 3 window. Alright, so we've already done that, but let's do it again just because we're completionists. Whoops. And I'll actually need the word conda there to be fully okay. Alright. Then we need to change the directory, that's the command cd, to C Stable Diffusion main before we can generate any images. Okay. So let's do that. Right, cd Oops, oh, I hate doing that. It's on my mouse. I have this little button by my thumb, and if I press that, it gives me that whole multi-window display. Sometimes useful, more often an annoyance. Okay, Control C, come back in here. CD. Alright, we're in Stable Diffusion main. We're going to call a script text to image.py that allows us to convert text prompts into 512 by 512 images. Here's an example. Try this out to make sure everything is working correctly. Prompt, and here's the prompt, a close-up picture of a cat by Pablo Picasso. So let's try that. Okay, make sure I got the whole thing here. Oops. Control C. So now what I understand this program will do is it'll actually get images off the internet to do this. I'll just hit enter here. And here we go. It's downloading a bunch of stuff off the internet. So here's their version of what my console will give. And that command will produce 5 cat. I'm just going to cover over their version with my version so we're not confused as we look at it. Okay, that command will produce 5 cat images, all located within C Stable Diffusion main, outputs, etc. So let's see if we can't find that. Stable diffusion. No, not there. Where did it say? C, stable diffusion main. Right. Okay. C, stable diffusion main. Okay. Right. So outputs. Okay, so I don't think we've created any yet. Yeah, so we're looking for outputs to get created. So we're still in the process of doing stuff here. Oh. Runtime error. CUDA out of memory. Tried to allocate 10. Oh, man. Okay. If reserved memory is greater than allocated memory, try setting max split size MB to avoid fragmentation. Okay. Tried to allocate 1024. 8 total capacity. Yeah, a little low on memory. 6 already allocated. 0 bytes free. 6.73 reserved in total for type port. If reserved is greater than allocated. So it looks like I might need more memory to do this. See documentation for memory management and PyTorch. Right, okay, so let's copy this. And let's see if we can't find. PyTorch cannot allocate enough memory. Okay, so wonder if I can't change the command. No. I'm just going to generate the same error again. But you never know. Okay, so that didn't help. You keep saying see documentation for memory management. Okay. Try to allocate this. Okay. Okay, so there's a useless response. Again, there should be something that just Stack Overflow is usually more helpful than to reduce the batch size and resize my input image. Yeah. Okay, so how am I going to do that? maybe the image, like, and that's why I tried to look at that command. Yeah, see, is there a way of changing that image size? So annoying. Oh. Yeah. Getting model. Text to image.py. No, I'm not seeing how to tell it to use less memory. Yeah, your problem may be due to fragmentation of your GPU memory. I don't know how to tell how much memory I have on my image card. I can find out how to do that. How much memory on NVIDIA card? Display settings. Okay, system. Graphics. Nope, not gonna mess around with that. This doesn't really tell me. No results for NVIDIA. Display. That doesn't tell me. La di da di da. Alright, let's open this, see what it says. And nothing happens. Run as administrator. There we go. And oops, didn't want to install anything. Jeez. Not that updating my NVIDIA is bad. Here we go. Okay. So these are things I use it for. Maybe it's because I'm actually doing a live stream using OBS that I'm running into issues. That's possible. That is indeed possible. Oh, never mind. Don't know why I clicked that. Settings. Here we go. 15.G RAM. That should be plenty. It could be because I'm running the OBS and doing a live stream on YouTube at this very moment. So what I think I'll do is I'll stop the live stream and we'll end it here. We've seen that I can get it up and running, and it's actually fairly straightforward to get up and running, but it needs a system with some pretty considerable resources. Having the fiber download, good CPU, and the graphics card really does seem to be essential to make this work. So I'm going to try it without actually live streaming it, and if I get results, I'll put them in my newsletter. If I don't get results, if I still have a problem, I'll mention that in the newsletter, and I'll put the link to this video in my newsletter. So that's it for this episode of Stephen Follows Instructions. Came along pretty well, but yeah, ultimately for us today, it's another glorious failure. But maybe not a 100% failure. So